7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey folks, Jeremy Klein with you with OutdoorsNB and Maritime or Outdoors. In this little episode, I want to go over clothing for cold water, spring, or fall cold water paddling. I'm getting ready to put the Old Town Autopilot 136 in the water for the first time, and here in New Brunswick, where I'm from, air temperature is right around 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. Water temperature is the same. So ideally in the summertime, I'm dressing for the colder of the two, which is typically the water on the Bay of Fundy, which never gets above 15 degrees Celsius, and I forget what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's still fairly cold. What we're trying to do is prevent, essentially, in the long run, hypothermia, but initially something called cold water shock. So if you go in the water and you're just wearing winter clothes, for example, that cold water is going to hit you pretty quick. So what we want to do is dress in layers that are going to kind of prevent that. So what I do in the shoulder seasons, being a sea kayaker, I own a Drysuit, and I don't expect that most folks that are using sit on top fishing kayaks would have that, but ideally that's your best case scenario, or the best kind of stuff, the best gear to be wearing for really cold water. So a dry suit, unlike a wetsuit, is going to keep me dry. It will not keep me warm, so that's where I have to wear the appropriate layers underneath of it. So I like fleece. You want to think about staying away from cotton. I mean, most commercial fishermen are wearing cotton hoodies and cotton sweaters and sweatpants, and that's what I did when I used to lobster fish with my uncle and a couple people from Deer Island originally. So people do it. What cotton's going to do is it's going to hold water against your skin. So if we go with non-cotton blends and synthetics, then it's going to allow more of the sweat that you create to pass through that inner layer, your base layer, and be transmitted out into your outer layers. So depending on the type of dry suit you have, there's different materials that they're made from. NRS, Kokatat, and a few others make Gore-Tex material based dry suits, which allow for a little bit of breathability initially. When they become saturated, that breathability is cut down significantly, or when you're in the water and when they're soaked, they are saturated, so they're not going to breathe as well. But they do allow for a little bit of breathability, and they're going to keep you from getting too warm, depending on how warm the air temperature is. If you start to get warm, all you have to do is, if you can roll, you can get the outer portion of that dry suit wet, and the evaporative effect will help cool you in the summertime. But what you want to really think about is dressing for the temperature of the water when the water is really cold. And then there is a formula, air temperature versus water temperature, that you can also look at. If it's really cold air and still really warm, let's say cold snap in the fall, when the water, depending on what body of water you're on here, our water temperatures are warmest in the late fall because it's had all summer to warm up. So big heat sinks as well, the Grand Lake, the Bay of Fundy, and the freshwater that flows into that. The water temperature can be fairly warm and the air temperature can start to drop. So you want to look at both, and there, like I said, there is a formula, and I may be able to find it and put it on the video here somewhere, but where you take into account both the air temperature and the water temperature. But here up on the Bay of Fundy in the summertime in August, it might be 30 degrees Celsius and the water temperature might be 12. All right, so I want to dress for that. So I am going out, water temperatures are right around 0 Celsius, 32. So the dry suit gives me that protection against getting wet, and then my base layers, I've got a few on, are going to keep me from getting cold. I want to protect my Kokatat dry suit. Has integral socks, so I wear a pair of NRS boundary boots, and that keeps my feet warm. They're closed cell foam neoprene, so it's going to protect the booty of my of my dry suit, and it's going to give me some thermal protection on my feet as well. There's all kinds of different options for that portion of your kit, and then of course I'm wearing a winter hat that is non-cotton, some fleece lining on the inside, and then synthetic blend on the outside. So that's me dressing for what's going on right now in the environment. So if you have any questions about that, give us a shout, and I'd be more than happy to clarify anything or point you in the right direction for gear, that sort of thing. We no longer sell most of the stuff, but I can tell you what works and what doesn't. So feel free to give us a shout, and thanks for watching. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you like what you watched, please subscribe to our channel. We're working very hard to make meaningful content like this for you. Also, hit the bell button down in the corner to get live updates as we upload content. If there are paddling or outdoor related subjects you'd like us to cover, please contact us. We would love to cover them for you. And if you're looking for really cool outdoor and paddling related pictures, please check out our Instagram feed and subscribe there too if you like what you see. Thank you very much. Bye.